Dan Kopfer, Chairman of the Code Compliance Board. NSB Code Compliance Board of September 19, 2024. The procedures of the hearing are to provide due process to every respondent and the city in accordance with Florida State Statute 162.073, which states formal rules of evidence shall not apply, but fundamental due process shall be observed and shall govern the proceeding. Hearsay is admissible, but only to support other competent, substantial evidence. Other evidence must be presented. Are there any questions? Any decision made today can be appealed by sending notice of appeal to the Circuit Court within 30 days of the execution of the orders per Florida State Statute 162.11. Can we have roll call, please?
Dan Kopfer.
Here.
Cliff Warren.
Here.
Albert Szymanski.
Here.
Aaron Dennis.
Here.
Kathleen Brown.
Here.
Michael Slayton.
Here.
Ruth Kazmarek is excused.
Okay. Does any board members have any disclosure of any ex parte communications?
No.
For the record, we have none. And has everybody had a chance to look at the minutes from the August 15th, 2024 hearing?
Yep.
And if so, do I have a motion to accept?
So move. Second.
Dan Kopfer.
Yes.
Cliff Warren.
Aye.
Albert Szymanski.
Aye.
Aaron Dennis.
Yes.
Kathleen Brown.
Aye.
Michael Slayton.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay. And can we have the swearing in of any city staff, respondents, or any witnesses that may testify in front of us today?
Please stand and raise your right hand. State your full name. In the matter to which you are about to give testimony, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? The witnesses have been sworn in.
First case.
First case is 907 Hamilton Street. Jason Yates is the officer. Barb Bobolek presenting.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
So I'm presenting in Jason's absence. And this property this case was heard on case number CCB-0518-2024, and it was heard on 8/15/2024, and the property owners were found in violation of section 26-902, registration of vacant real properties, and section 26-914-8, landscaping, and was given until August 26, 2024 to bring the property into full compliance. If the board found the violations were not corrected by this date, a fine of $25 per day per violation shall be imposed for each day the violation exists. The board order was mailed, certified mail to the property owner, and was unclaimed and returned to the city. The board order was posted on the property on August 19th, 2024. To date, nothing has been done at this location. I visited this property this morning with Jason. The property has not been mowed. We have not received the vacant property registration. So I'm recommending that the board impose a $25 per day per violation commencing on August 26, 2024, and continue until the property is brought into full compliance, and the fine shall not exceed a maximum of $15,000.
Any questions?
So moved. Second. No question.
Dan Kopfer.
Aye.
Cliff Warren.
Aye.
Albert Szymanski.
Aye.
Aaron Dennis.
Aye.
Kathleen Brown.
Aye.
Michael Slayton.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
The
Please be
respondents
sure-
are further ordered to contact the code inspector to verify compliance with this order and to also be aware that the respondents have the right to appeal the order when it comes out within 30 days. Any violation of the same code by the respondents within 5 years from the date of this order shall be treated as a repeat violation, of which a fine up to $500 per day may be imposed. Next hearing date will be October 17th. Next case.
You don't have to say next hearing date, that's just FYI. And everyone be sure and speak into your microphones. The next case is 1507 Palmetto, Beverly Abramson presenting.
Good afternoon. Case number CCB 00226-2024 is for 1507 Palmetto Street. This property is zone R2, single family residential. The violations cited were Section 74-146, local business tax imposed. On May 15th, 2024, the board found Money Sunk LLC and/or entity in violation of Section 74-146, local business tax imposed, and gave until 1 p.m. June 13th, 2024, to bring the property into full compliance. If the board found that the violation was not corrected by this date, the Code Compliance Board would consider setting a fine and lien on this case at the July hearing. That case was continued to this hearing. The board order was mailed certified mail to the property owner and was signed for and accepted on May 20th, 2024. The board order was also posted on the property on May 16th, 2024. I also sent a copy of the board order to the respondent on July 10th via email. As of July 17th, the city is still waiting for, is that the right one? Yes, still waiting for additional information to be submitted. Money Sunk LLC is not registered with the Florida Division of Corporations. The property owner lives out of state, and he has promised that he will get his inspection scheduled come October 1st. Therefore, I would recommend to continue this case to that's today, to the October hearing.
That's it?
Yes.
Any questions from the board?
Yeah, but how long is this case going on? What was the beginning violation? Did you say May, or did I mishear you?
Yes, May 15th.
And you have only heard from one since May?
Well, what happened was the guy, the property has not been occupied. It has been vacant this whole time. He apparently only rents the house out from October to December to the same family from up north. When he filed the paperwork, he had his LLC was registered in a different state. So when he filed for the business tax receipt, they told him he needs to get it registered here with Florida. So when he applied, somehow or another, the paperwork got misplaced through the fault of the Sunbez. They sent an email, and he had sent me a copy of the email where they said that they had taken a long time. And so anyways, it really wasn't his fault. He tried to get the application submitted. And he said that since he is out of state, he has to find somebody to go in and be at the property when he has the inspection. So we're just waiting. He said October 1st, someone will be there and we can go in and do our inspection at that time.
Thank you.
So the application's in, it's just
So
the
basically,
inspection.
we
we're waiting.
need a motion to postpone this till the
Yes, a
October
continuance until the October hearing.
meeting. Can we get a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Who said the move?
Me.
You said the second, right?
I second.
Okay, that's what I was looking for. Thank you. Dan Coffer,
Yes.
Cliff Warren,
Aye.
Al Szymanski,
Aye.
Aaron Dennis,
Aye.
Kathleen Brown,
Aye.
Michael Slayton.
Yes.
Motion carries.
The respondents are further ordered to contact the code inspector to verify compliance with this order, and to also be aware that the respondents have the right to appeal the order when it comes out within 30 days. Any violation of the same code by the respondent within 5 years from this date of the order shall be treated as a repeat violation, of which a fine up to $500 per day may be imposed. Next case.
Our next case is 2640 Brookline Avenue. Beverly Abramson presenting.
Case number CCB 03112024 for property at 2640 Brookline Avenue. On July 18, 2024, the board found Ida M. and Ronald E. A. Maker and/or entity in violation of sections 26-141A, 171A, permit required, section 66-32, placement of containers for garbage collection, 70-5, objects and obstructions in the right-of-way, IPMC 302.1, sanitation, IPMC 303.1 for swimming pools, 303.2 for enclosures, 304.3 premises identification, and 308.1 for accumulation of rubbish or garbage, and gave until September 1st, 2024 at 1 p.m. to bring the property into full compliance. If the board found that the violations were not corrected by the state, a fine in the amount of $10 a day for section 6632, $75 a day for IPMC 303.2, $50 a day, so on. For IPMC 303.1, and $25 a day for violation of each of the remaining violations shall be imposed for each of the violations that exist. As of, this morning, I did a re-inspection. The board order was mailed, certified mail to the property owner, and was signed for and accepted on July 22nd, 2024. The board order was also posted on the property on July 23rd, 2024. I conducted a re-inspection on August 15th and found that the shed is gone. So that complies section 26-171A. Today, I found that section 70-5, objects and obstructions in the public right-of-way, has also been complied. Therefore, that really remains the rest of the violations to be found in violation is section 66-32, placement of containers for garbage collection at an amount of $10 a day. IPMC 302.1, sanitation for $25 a day. IPMC 303.1, swimming pools, $50 a day. IPMC 303.2, enclosures, $75 a day. IPMC 304.3, premises identification for $25 a day. And IPMC 308.1, accumulation of rubbish and garbage for $25 a day. On my violations, I redid the inspection today. Those violations still exist, therefore it is my recommendation to impose the fines and set the fines until the property is brought into full compliance with a fine not to exceed the maximum amount of $10,000.
Have you had any communication with them in the last month?
No, they came in to the hearing, they were here at the hearing. They've never contacted me since. It looks like they're trying to clean up, but when they got rid of the shed, all the stuff, I guess, that was in the shed came outside as well. So they cleaned up the stuff in the right-of-way. That's out of the way. But there's still stuff that needs to be hidden somewhere. Cleaned up from being outside.
Any other questions from the board?
Would you recap the proposed fines?
Yes. Okay, so it's going to be $10 a day for section 66-32. Do you want the ordinance read out as well?
No.
Okay. So $75 a day for IPMC 303.2, $50 per day for IPMC 303.1, and $25 per day per violation for each of the remaining violations, not to exceed $10,000.
That's like $160 a day, I think, total, somewhere around there. Somewhere around there.
Yeah,
210, I think, is what my math comes up to.
210. Yep, $210 a day
Okay.
per day until the violations come into compliance.
Mr. Chairman, I move to impose the fines.
I'll second that.
Dan Coffer,
Aye.
Cliff Warren,
Aye.
Al Szymanski,
Aye.
Aaron Dennis,
Aye.
Kathleen Brown,
Aye.
Michael Slayton.
Yes.
Thank
Motion
you.
carries.
Can I ask one question? Are you going to keep track every day? I mean, so if he gets his $10 fine out of the way, that goes away?
Well, they have to contact me to let me know when the violations are
Okay.
complied. That's what the order said,
Yeah.
but I do drive by it often, so I'll keep an eye on it.
Just for the record, it's in the order that they, in the order, it states it is the respondent's burden to request a reinspection to determine which compliance is achieved after the date of this
Okay.
order. That way, it's not on her.
Right.
The respondents are further ordered to contact the code inspector to verify compliance with this order, and to also be aware that respondents have the right to appeal the order when it comes out within 30 days. Any violation of the same code by the respondents within 5 years from the date of this order shall be treated as a repeat violation, of which a fine up to $500 per day may be imposed. Next case.
Our next case is our first new business. It is 3837 Sandstone Court, Beverly Abramson presenting.
I'm back. I don't like having these things in the afternoon. I get all confused. My brain works much better in the mornings. Okay. This case is CCB-0523-2024. Property location is 3837 Sandstone Court. Zoning is R5, multifamily residential. On May 31st, 2024, while in the area conducting routine inspections, I observed new pavers along the driveway and into the rear yard. When I returned to the office, I found no permit in the system. I generated and mailed a courtesy notice. The property was found to be in violation of Section 72-171A, permits required, and Section 72-142, penalties for work commencing before permit issuance. On July 25th, a notice of violation and notice of hearing was posted on the property with an initial compliance date of August 15th, 2024. A copy was also mailed, certified mail to the property owner, and one to the registered agent listed on the SunBiz website for the active LLC. Both were signed for and accepted on July 29th, 2024. There has been a steady flow of conversation between all parties involved. On July 29th, 2024, an application for a permit was submitted for replacing the pavers, and it is going through the review process at this time. It appears that the gentleman has submitted everything, or the contractor, I should say, has submitted everything. It's just waiting on the staff, city staff, to review it. It is my recommendation that the Code Compliance Board find Ocelot Holdings LLC and/or entity in violation of Section 72-171A, permits required, and give until October 11th, 2024 to bring the property into full compliance. If the owner does not come into compliance, it is my recommendation to impose a fine at a subsequent hearing in the amount of $50 a day until the property is brought into full compliance. I was really hoping that it would be in compliance today, talking to planning people or zoning people, but it wasn't, so maybe tomorrow.
How far back, at what date will this fine start then?
Not until October 11th,
Oh, okay.
yeah. I'd like to give them some more time. I
Any
think they'll
questions
be
from
in
any of the board
compliance by
members?
then.
No.
Can we get a motion?
I move we accept the recommendation.
I second.
Dan Coffer,
Aye.
Cliff Warren,
Aye.
Al Szymanski,
Aye.
Aaron Dennis,
Aye.
Kathleen Brown,
Aye.
Michael Slayton.
Yes.
Motion carries.
The respondents are further ordered to contact the code inspector to verify compliance with this order, and to also be aware that the respondents have the right to appeal the order when it comes out within 30 days. Any violation of the same code by the respondent within 5 years of the date of this order shall be treated as a repeat violation, of which a fine up to $500 per day may be imposed. Next case.
Next case is 3839 Sandstone Court, Beverly Abramson presenting.
This is a duplex, so it's right beside the other one, same owner. Case number CCB-0545-2024. Property location is 3839 Sandstone Court. Zoning is R5, multifamily residential. On June 28, 2024, while in the area conducting routine inspections, I observed plywood over a window opening. Upon further investigation, I observed multiple windows that were new. I spoke with the worker on site. He told me that they had replaced the windows, pavers around the side and rear yards, some shiplap on the ceiling, and removed carpet, and were installing new floors. While present on site, the worker called and spoke with the owner and allowed me to speak to the owner as well. I told him a permit was required. He assured me that permits would be obtained. When I returned to the office, I generated and mailed a courtesy notice. I also found an electrical permit that had expired. So I cited him for that too. The property was found to be in violations of Section 72-171A, permit required, and Section 72-172, penalties for work commencing before permit issuance. On July 25th, 2024, a notice of violation and notice of hearing was posted on the property with an initial compliance date of August 15th. A copy was also mailed, certified mailed to the property owner, and one to the registered agent listed on the SunBiz website for the Active LLC. Both were signed for and accepted on July 29th, 2024. There has been a steady flow of conversation between all parties involved. On August 8th, 2024, the electric permit was completed, as well as the permit for the replacement of the doors and windows. On July 29th, 2024, an application for a permit was submitted for the replacement of the pavers and is going through the review process at this time. On September 19th, a follow-up inspection showed the violation for just the replacement of pavers still exists. It is my recommendation that the Code Compliance Board find Oslet Holdings LLC and/or entity in violation of Section 72-171A, permit required, and give until October 11th to bring the property into full compliance. If the owner does not come into compliance, it is my recommendation to impose a fine at a subsequent hearing in the amount of $50 a day until the property is brought into full compliance.
Any questions from the board?
Contact with the individuals?
Yes.
And they just didn't pull the permits?
No, they've got an application submitted. They've already, so there was an expired electrical permit. That's been completed. They took care of all of that. The doors and windows that I originally went there for, that's been completed. They've gotten all their inspections and it's done. The only thing we're waiting on is for the pavers, which is the same thing for the other property at 3837. So they did the pavers in the driveway, and they had to get something notarized, a piece of paper notarized. I seen in the system, it looks like that was resubmitted this morning. So it's just got to go through the review process. I'm hoping that tomorrow it'll be issued and we can comply the case.
Just point of information, are these contractors doing this work or homeowners? Okay,
The contractor applied for the permits.
okay.
I have a clarification. I think I'm hearing you say 72-171. Is it that, or is it the 26-171 for the ordinance?
Is it 26? 26,
26, okay. I didn't know if I heard wrong or if you said it wrong.
Oh, yeah, it's right there on the board.
That's what I said. That's why I was confused.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Can we get a motion from the board?
May I ask, what was your recommendation?
Give until October 11th, 2024, and issue a fine of $50 a day until the property is brought into compliance.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Dan Coffer,
Aye.
Cliff Warren,
Aye.
Al Szymanski,
Aye.
Aaron Dennis,
Aye.
Kathleen Brown,
Aye.
Michael Slayton.
Yes.
Motion carries.
The respondents are further ordered to contact the code inspector to verify compliance with this order and to also be aware that the respondents have the right to appeal the order when it comes out within 30 days. Any violation of the same code by the respondent within 5 years from the date of this order shall be treated as a repeat violation, of which a fine up to $500 per day may be imposed. Next case.
Next case is 204 Magnolia, John Parks presenting.
Afternoon. The address is 204 Magnolia Street. The case number is CCB-0564-2024. Excuse me. This property is zoned MU Mixed Use Business District, violation of Section 26-914, subsection 8, landscaping. On July the 5th, 2024, Code Compliance received a complaint regarding overgrown grass and weeds. On July the 9th, 2024, an inspection was conducted finding grass and weeds exceeding 12 inches, and the property was found to be in violation of Section 26-914, subsection 8. On July 23rd, 2024, a notice of violation was posted on the property with an initial compliance date of August the 6th, 2024. A copy was also mailed, certified mail to the property owner, and was signed for and accepted on July the 26th, 2024. On September 9th, 2024, a follow-up inspection showed no changes to the property, still needing to be cut and maintained. I went there again just an hour ago before this hearing, and it is still in the same condition. It is staff's recommendation the board to find 204 Magnolia LLC and/or entity in violation of Section 26-914, subsection 8, and give until October the 4th, 2024 to bring the property into full compliance. If the owner does not come into compliance, it's staff's recommendation to impose a fine of $50 per day until the property is brought into full compliance, fine not to exceed maximum amount of $25,000.
So my first question would be, have you had any contact with them?
Unfortunately not. There is another code case that's already been heard and leaned that's involving this property, and based upon that one, communications completely died off between the property owner and the city.
And do you think the $50 per day will get them motivated?
$50 is a reasonable amount. I believe, for the violation of landscaping is not too difficult. I don't believe in bringing personal issues, whether there was a prior case or not, or even cooperation really into whether there should be an increased fine or not. I think $50 is my recommendation based upon a fair assessment.
When you say the conversation died out, are they just not responding?
There's no, they were accepting their mail, their certified mail on this case was accepted on July the 26th, 2024. So obviously they're fully aware of it.
I see.
In the picture of my posting of this notice of violation and hearing, right next to it is the posting of the finding, still on the same window. I really can't advocate for them, and I can't say what their mindset is or whatever. I don't know if there's personal issues going on or what, but clearly there's been no communication and no action, and this property is now at least 2 foot high, if not even higher.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions?
I was going to make a motion to accept the recommendation.
On the motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Dan Coffer,
Aye.
Cliff Warren,
Aye.
Al Szymanski,
Aye.
Aaron Dennis,
Aye.
Kathleen Brown,
Aye.
Michael Slayton.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. The respondents are further ordered to contact the code inspector to verify compliance with this order, and to also be aware that the respondents have the right to appeal the order when it comes out within 30 days. Any violation of the same code by the respondents within 5 years from the date of this order shall be treated as a repeat violation, of which a fine up to $500 per day may be imposed. Next case.
The next case is 501 Magnolia, that has been withdrawn. Next case is 2767 Neverland Drive. Jason Yates is officer, Barb Bobolak presenting.
Case number CCB-0639-2024. Property location is 2767 Neverland Drive. This case, I'm lost. That's not my notes, no. The property is zoned PUD, Planned Unit Development. Violations cited is IPMC 303.2, enclosures, Section 26-171A, permits required. On August 20th, 2024, Code Compliance received the complaint regarding an addition to the property, lanai, as well as the install of pavers. No permits for either job were on file, and a portion of the fence was removed for this work with easy access to the backyard where the pool is. On August 20th, 2024, an inspection was conducted and the property was found to be in violation of Section IPMC 303.2 enclosures, Section 26-171A, permits required. On August 29th, 2024, a notice of violation was posted on the property with initial compliance date of September 13th, 2024. A copy was also certified mailed to the property owner and was signed for and accepted on September 5th, 2024 at 12:01 p.m. On September 9th, 2024, a follow-up inspection showed that the fence was reinstalled, so that kept the pool enclosed. And the permits for the pavers and for the lanai have still not been applied for. I know this morning, Jason and I went by this property, and while we were out checking the property representative called Jason to discuss this, and also the contractor called. The contractor stated that he couldn't be here this evening because he had one of his children was in a golf tournament, so he didn't want to miss that. They have been in contact with Jason. I think there's some lack of communication, whether it's between the property owner's representative or the contractor. The contractor did state this morning that he was going to get in touch with the building department and try to get the permitting process started. I checked just before the meeting started, and so far nothing has been turned in as of today. So staff's recommendation to find Sherry Lynn Ranson and/or entity in violation of Section 26-171A, permits required, and given until October 11th, 2024 to bring the property into full compliance. If the owner does not come into compliance, it's staff's recommendation to impose a fine of $25 per day per violation until the property is brought into full compliance. Fine not to exceed $15,000. As far as I know, the property owner has not been in touch with Jason at all. It's just been the contractor and this representative. How he's related to the whole thing, I'm not sure, but as far as I know, there's been no contact at all from the property owner. And I think the representative was thinking that the fine would go against the contractor, but we can't find the contractor, so we did clear that up with him as well.
Any questions from the board? Any motion?
I make a motion to accept Barbara's report.
Seconded.
Dan Coffer,
Aye.
Cliff Warren,
Aye.
Al Szymanski,
Aye.
Aaron Dennis,
Aye.
Kathleen Brown,
Aye.
Michael Slayton.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Hey, Barb,
The
when
res-
when they finally get their after-the-fact permit, doesn't the city, or the building department nail
Yeah,
in
they'll be
double?
after the fact permits, so they will get the additional fees.
Yeah.
The respondents are further ordered to contact the code inspector to verify compliance with this order and to also be aware that respondents have the right to appeal the order when it comes out within 30 days. Any violation of the same code by the respondent within 5 years from the date of the order shall be treated as a repeat violation, of which a fine up to $500 per day may be imposed. That's all the cases.
There are no repeat violations unless there's discussion.
Anything else from the board?
No.
And I'll call this meeting to an end then. We'll adjourn the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you.